Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games with myself. My name's Mike Man.
Hello.
Nothing has happened this week.
Clearly nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. The world is good, and no one is being
Mike Ibarra who?
Mike Ibarra who, and there was no Harry Potter game. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Yeah. By the way, just in case anybody wants to know, even though nobody watches these videos, we are not talking about Harry Potter. The whole situation, in my opinion, is stupid, and that's it. That's my whole point. That's my view. It is stupid.
People are allowed to be not happy with the game. People are allowed to not watch people play the game. But harassment and death threats is just like
grow the fuck up. That's it. That's my view. Just grow up.
You know, it's the type of thing where you're literally like, I just do not have the mental capacity to actually like be angry at this. I'm just tired. I'm done with it.
Yeah. I've gotten to that point now of just
the overreaction of it.
Yeah. It's
just too. It's like, for fuck's sake, yes, be disappointed, be fucking this, that, and the other, but
why be disappointed though?
People are allowed. It's their opinion.
I mean, you're allowed opinion. I know, but like, you're allowed to be angry and you're allowed to be disappointed. But like, my point is why do you care so much? The other thing is,
it's the whole thing of someone that they apparently look up to disappointing them by playing this game and all that sort of stuff. But it's like the point is like, yes, be disappointed and blah blah blah. But like, when you get to the point where you are harassing and threatening and doxing people over it, you are now in the wrong.
Yeah.
So, like, and we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, don't harass people. It's bullshit.
You're just basically.
Also, to all you media people who are defending this, when you call other people out for this shit, when that's not actually what they do, fuck you. Like, seriously, fuck you.
Yeah. But anyway,
now that our obligatory Hogwarts thing is out of the way, let us actually talk about the shit that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Right, first off, now you may not want to talk about this, but I kind of do, because this is actually kind of funny. The new Saints Row bombed that bad.
No, I want to, because it is the epitome of, do you not know the audience you are aiming this game at?
It has bombed that bad that Embracer, the company that made the new Saints Row game, have now... Is it Embracer? No, they published it. I think they were the publishing. They have now changed the way that they greenlight projects.
I mean... this is another one that's like, on paper, is it like, yeah, okay, reboot it, and
a new Saints Row game is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I know, but like,
whether rebooting it or not, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
it's gonna make money.
But what I was saying is, reboot Saints Row and step slightly back from the ridiculously over-the-top stuff that the later Saints Row games were. Like, get it back to like 2 and 3.
I'd say I would keep with 3. I think 3's...
That's what I'm saying. The 2 and 3
yeah,
pretty much nailed like the balance of comedy and all that, right? Better mechanics, that level of comedy, and on paper that sounds brilliant. What they actually decided to do is reboot it all the way back to the first one.
Well, not even the first one.
But then not have a cast that anyone will actually care about.
That, and also have the worst... Like, I generally think of this generation so far for the games, like, it is now a fight between Forspoken and Saints Row over which is the worst script that has been put into a game.
Yeah. And I understand what Forspoken was trying to do. It was like, it had the way
not with its script. Its script's so
with
bad.
A character.
There's no way that you can tell what's going on with that script.
The problem is that the game, a lot of people are comparing like the character's humor with Hi-Fi Rush. The problem is that Hi-Fi Rush knows it's not a serious game, and from the off tells you it's not a serious game. It doesn't take itself seriously. Forsaken does, and that's where the issue comes from.
The thing, it's not even that. It's just the fact that it's every 3 words is fuck in that script. Like, I feel bad for the actress who plays the main character.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can tell that she's putting effort into that. But unfortunately, when your script is shit,
there's only so much you can do.
There's only so much you can do.
And like I say, the thing is like, in another type of game where it's not played off as serious, it probably would fit in better.
I think if this game was made like 10 years ago, I think people would let it slide.
Yeah,
but
not now.
It's not now. We're past those days. Every now and then, those type of games come out, and people are just like, "Yeah, this is funny," and all that sort of stuff.
But usually, to quote other people, it's the Marvel style humor for the character. And again, like I say, if it was a different tone for the actual game, it might have worked. But because the rest of it is all played so seriously, that sort of
although the bosses,
humor.
Some of the bosses are generally quite funny because it's like you're fighting Emperor Palpatine, and you know how he hams everything up.
Yeah,
it's like that, which is just fantastic. But anyway, getting back to Saints Row, Saints Row was bad. It was so bad.
It was a poor launch. There was a lot of bugs. It was very for a current generation release, there wasn't a lot going on. Like, I've seen footage, and literally
the game was broken. It was at least broken.
Yeah, no, but I've seen more people in a friggin' San Andreas game.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the remake because that's an abomination to greatness. But like the PS2 San Andreas had at times more people in it. Hell, do you remember Hitman?
Yeah.
Hitman, was it Blood Money or Contracts that had the Mardi Gras?
I think it's Contracts.
Which was that I still do not know how they pulled that off.
Magic.
Because it was PS2, wasn't it? It was PS2, wasn't it? I'm not mistaken and thinking and
Contracts was a PS2 game.
The street's just full of people. I'm like, how the fuck have you? How have you done this? How have you done that? What magic are you pulling? And it's like Saints Row feels bare and barren when you look at it. When you see people playing it, it's like, oh, why have you done this? And then to top it all off, the cast. The actual cast of characters are just unlikable. They are like they do.
Your stereotypical. I'm gonna say Gen Zers. Like they're the stereotypical shit that you see in like the TV shows now.
Yeah, but the thing is though, like I don't believe those people actually exist.
Oh no, they don't. But that's what I'm saying. They're stereotypical of Gen Z things that you see in TV. So there's always the guy that never walks around with his shirt on. There's the nerdy dude who seems to come up with everything. There's the one that swears too much. Yeah, then there's the random lass.
Things, right? And they do things like shoot someone in a scene, and in this very same scene, they go off. They go to do frat boy stuff and that. And
yeah, it's the Naughty Dog syndrome.
I'm like, what the? Yeah, but the problem is that the Naughty Dog syndrome is the difference between the cutscene and the gameplay.
Yeah.
Right? This is in the same cutscene. There's not like a difference between cutscene and gameplay. It's like, what the fuck? How? Not a single one of them is likable.
Yeah, that's true. The script, the whole game's just bad. It came out broken. The script's terrible. The characters are terrible.
The humor
just flies over it. Like, no, I don't know anybody that actually found anything funny in that game.
It just falls flat on its face.
It's just poor. It's just a poor game.
It's
so basically it bombed so bad that Embracer have come out and said that like games now need to earn the right to exist. That's basically what they've said.
Which is true.
To simplify, each product has to earn its right to exist, which means we will increase our efforts to put quality first even further, which you should have done first with this one, but that's going too far. That's too hard for these publishers. You know, you have to make a very, very bad mistake before you learn anything from it.
It's not even a Saints Row. It's not a good Saints Row game. If it was a Saints Row game, I just don't understand. It's as if they took the humor from like the last game.
I like how in here it basically the article goes, Saints Row apparently was a sales bomb. No,
Apparently,
it wasn't. Apparently, it was. It was. And it's possible the game has yet to turn a profit. That's because it hasn't turned a profit. Embrace's latest Q3 earnings report outlines situation in detail, and from what we can tell, it looks like the development cost of certain games are exceeding the earnings from these specific titles. Yes, that's because you're thinking that your game is going to make a shit ton of money without actually putting effort into it.
Yeah, you're just throwing money at it and not actually putting.
Yeah, you're not actually putting effort in, and you're thinking, oh well, we spent 12 million on this game.
Yes, you have to spend money to get a good final product, but the problem.
You have to spend money right.
Yeah,
it's not just like you can just throw money at something and it'll be fixed. You can't. If there's a hole in the ground, you can't throw money at a fisherman and he's going to fix the hole. Like
whoever was in charge of the script clearly did not understand that, like the market. Like Saints Row filled that niche of like because Grand Theft Auto became serious.
Yeah.
It got more serious. It had its own funny moments still, and it's like, this is absurd moments. But like from San Andreas onwards, and especially with Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5,
I think 5 kind of took it back a little bit. There is some really silly moments in 5,
but it's still.
But it's not that. It's very much more of a. It's like they've kind of gone the Red Dead route of storytelling. Of a much more serious storytelling.
Yeah, it's a very much like the modern Grand Theft Auto games are much more serious in tone, and like if the main story is very serious sort of thing. There's real shit going down sort of thing. And Saints Row filled that whole thing of like, no, this is ridiculous. This is just thinking about.
It's a game where you walk around with a dildo stick.
I know, and beat people over the head with it.
How can you actually take that seriously?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can't take a game that has that seriously.
No. But they clearly missed. Like there's dropping the ball, and then there's clearly not understanding what made a product successful, which is this. And they probably just thought it has the Saints Row title, it'll do great,
it'll do fine.
And
they did the EA thing of BioWare magic.
Yeah. It'll do fine.
It'll be fine because it's Saints Row.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not how it works.
You know, the cutscenes for the trailers and that, it was like, okay, I'll keep an eye on it, and then it released. And then I actually saw the characters interact with each other.
I mean,
and I saw the
I'm not gonna lie, like the warning signs were on the walls for the actual release, because we literally didn't see anything of actual gameplay.
That is very true.
For a very long time, and then when we did, everybody showed the exact same gameplay.
Yeah, like there was literally only one thing. Yeah, that's a big red flag.
Maybe we should have like noticed that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I just don't. I understand that. I know potentially of like the thought process and why it ended up the way it was, because they, again, like I said, they clearly misinterpreted who the market was for this game, and 2, they clearly didn't spend any money on quality QA.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. Saints Row. Terrible. That's the conclusion of this.
It's a bad game. It's a bad game, which is disappointing because Saints Row 2 and 3 are 2 of the best open world games I've ever seen and played, because it's just so fun, because it's just literally, it's all about
it's for me, I'd say of that type.
Yeah, of that type of open world, like the open world crime game.
Yeah, although I'd still say Yakuza is much better.
Yeah, Yakuza
for both even as a serious game, it is superior, and even for its goofiness, it is superior.
The thing is, though, is that I don't class Yakuza as the same sort of game as Grand Theft Auto 4 and Saints Row because it's just an unfair fight.
Yeah,
Yakuza's just on its own level. It is literally like, nah, this is Yakuza.
Okay, so moving on.
And a good segue because QA is actually mentioned, I think, in this as well.
Activision Blizzard employees are being forced to return to the office soon. It's claimed by workers, and yes, this is true. Blizzard have actually come out and said
admitted
that
to
this is going to happen.
Now,
they've got to return to office. I think it's called
return to Return to office. RTO. They have an RTO plan. I hate it when they do anagrams and shorten it to the initials and you're like, go talk to me like I'm a human being, please. Not a fucking anagram or algorithm.
So yeah, basically they have been slowly reintroducing teams back in, to the dismay of the workers, because a lot of the staff just don't want to.
Also,
don't want to go back.
So this is happening in a lot of places. Like where I work, they're doing it, and they've actually done it. Like a lot of the people have come back. But where I work, there is still stuff you can't do at home. There is stuff that you have to be in the office to do. So there's a little bit of justification behind it. Activision Blizzard, what exactly do they need to be in the office to do? And also, they hired a bunch of people during the pandemic who live nowhere near California.
Yeah.
And they go, oh yeah, you're gonna have to move to come back.
You're gonna have to come to California.
We're not gonna pay you. We're not gonna compensate you for all the the upheaval and the.
Yeah, we're not gonna help you move, or we're not gonna
increase your pay to help pay for the extortionate rent that California has.
Yeah.
We're not going to do any of that. We're just going to tell you, you have to come to the office. Also, by the way, we still haven't done anything about the terrible working practices that were in place before everyone started working from home. The reason why now this is me just speculating, but the reason why we are telling everyone to come back is because the assholes in the office are very tired of not being able to go on their cubicle crawls.
Pretty much, or just being.
Now
able,
that's speculation.
I actually think it's more just for them just because there's nobody in the office for them to go. You do this now.
Yeah,
that's what I think it is. I think everyone's working from home, and actually,
and
actually being able to do their job. You know, because they're not being harassed.
Yeah, and also because they're not being like verbally shouted at in their face, they have the ability to just go, do you know what? No, I'm not doing this. This is fucking bullshit.
So yeah, Activision are bringing people in
because they're assholes.
And my tablet is frozen, which is not great. There we go. Right, so. Today, one of the Twitter posts by one of the employees. Today, Activision Blizzard announced a return to office plan to employees. It begins April and June, depending on the studio. The company will see a large reduction in force if this occurs. The majority of employees at ABK have no interest in returning to office, either full or part-time. This isn't to say that nobody sees the value in an office environment, but we've overall decided the risks do not outweigh those benefits, which is very true. COVID is still a thing.
Yeah, like you just have to look at Japan.
Yeah,
and
the anime industry in Japan at the moment is
getting absolutely fucking wrecked.
Yeah, the amount of delays that have come in just for episode releases.
Yeah,
is hurting them.
And it's because the staff and. Depending on the way those animation companies are set up, they have to go in to do the work.
Yeah.
And they're having to delay because people are just getting sick with COVID.
So, and as much as these companies would love to tell you that no, COVID's fine now. No, it's still a thing.
Yeah, it's still a thing.
You still have to be careful. Like obviously, you don't have to be as careful as when it first broke out.
Because the vast majority of us have been vaccinated and boosted and all that stuff.
And we actually,
it still makes you ill.
Yeah, you can still get ill.
It can still knock people for six you know, the thing the boosters and the vaccines does, it stops it from killing you, and even then, like, it reduces the chance of it killing you.
This is also a company that we have to remember has just recently
Settled a lawsuit.
we've settled a lawsuit, which they, in my opinion, got off with. They also fired a team leader.
Yes, 2 weeks ago we were talking about this.
They fired a team leader for basically not betraying the staff.
Yeah,
and treating them like shit.
Yeah, the upper the free ranking system, that the forced ranking system that they have,
they have to put somebody on,
which has been proven over and over and over and over again that it is actually
a deterrent.
A deterrent for good working and high productivity, because people will stop helping other people. And this is also, again, the office where Bobby Kotick is in charge of, and he is a terrible person.
Oh, by the way, the only what was the other thing that so they've done this. They're calling everybody back into the office.
Yeah.
Despite, like, again, COVID. Also, you know, the whole harassment thing is probably not. People still remember that. You know, you've still got that.
It's not that long ago. Also, you know, some of the people that like, there hasn't been the mass firing of senior leadership that I would expect if they were actually a company that cared about its staff, considering everything that was everything that was revealed.
So basically, and the reason why they've come up with this, that everybody has to come in back to the office, is for better collaboration.
Fuck off.
This is
a company that released Overwatch 2, the latest expansion for WoW, while homeworking.
And Diablo's coming out soon.
And Diablo 4 has pretty much been in an entire development with homeworking.
Pretty much.
I love how other someone from Death's Bungie came out and went, yeah, this is bullshit.
This is stupid.
This is absolutely stupid.
Look at Bungie, right? Bungie, in the middle of COVID, released Witch Queen.
Yeah.
Which is, so far, their best expansion that they've ever done. And I am generally saying that because it is. They've also Lightfall, which started development at the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Is getting released in about a week.
And that is literally fully developed.
And that is new stuff. This is the amount of stuff they're adding into this. This is you could arguably say this is Destiny 3.
Yeah.
And they've done all this with the work from home.
Like, we have the technology. As long as you invest in the infrastructure, you have the technology to be able to...
see, there's the word.
Invest.
There's the word that Activision don't like. They don't like that word.
But here's
invest.
But again, like, the thing is, I understand, like, not working from home will never suit every single person in the world. It's just not possible.
Yeah, but just like working in the office isn't going to fit.
Yeah, exactly. No,
right. And you work in an office.
Yeah.
Right. This perfect metaphor. Right? Metaphor, allegory, whatever.
Allegory.
But you work in an office, right? I do not. Right. I can't work in an office. Me personally, like, I could not work in an office.
Yeah.
It would kill me.
But if you got home working.
But if I could do stuff that you can do in an office at home, I would do it, hands down, because I can move, and because that's what I need. I need to be able to move. I can't
sit at a desk.
Sit at a desk for like 8 hours with an hour break, if that, and just do nothing other than look at a screen. I need to be able to walk around and do stuff.
Yeah. I totally get where you're coming from. And personally, like, I don't think I could homework the entire week. Not really. I would like to go in the office for at least a little bit. Like, proper hybrid work. Like, the hybrid working that's been rolled out.
But the other thing is like, you're asking people from, like, fucking Minneapolis
to travel, to move to fucking
California. And Austin and stuff like that, to move to California. What are you doing?
It's almost as if you don't understand the workforce that you're in charge of.
It feels like you don't even understand geography. Just normal, actual, like, distance between places. Yeah. Like, oh, we live in California,
that was the other
and
thing.
half of our employees do not live in California.
That was the thing the other thing I was going to raise. It's like you hired a whole bunch of people during the pandemic who don't live in California. And you went, yeah, it's perfectly fine, you can stay where you are. But now, because people like Mike Ybarra clearly don't have their fucking power trip over being able to tell everyone what to do in the office, it's like, oh, yeah, come in the office. And this is not even the end of it. There's more. Now, they've also announced a reduction in the bonus scheme of the sharing of the profits.
Oh yes, yeah, they're basically, I think it's, what was it? It was like they got like 50%.
They got 51% of the profits, and they're going to reduce it to, I don't know what they're reducing it to, but they are reducing the profits.
I think it's just over 20% now. I think,
and they reduce right. Now, this is at the time where Activision Blizzard are making the most money profit-wise,
and there's a cost of living crisis
since they started. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Not only are you telling people you have to uproot your family, move them across the entire fucking country if need be. This is not, and this is the United States of the fucking America, by the way. It's not like fucking moving from London to Watford, which is like a half an hour drive. No, this is like, you will have to take a flight.
Yeah.
Or a train. Or spend a week travelling. Like, what is wrong with...
Or if you can't, say let's say you live in New York and you have to go to California, right? If you think about it, right? Let's think, now this shouldn't happen, and I hope it doesn't. But if there's any Activision workers who work in New York and they're asking you to come back to move to California, right? Let's say they can't get a place in California, right? What they have to do now is, most likely, let's say they work Monday to Friday, they'll have to get
a flight
on the Sunday, book a hotel for the week till Friday night,
and get the flight,
and then hopefully get a flight back, or maybe get a flight Saturday morning.
This is fucking ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Like, and you hired these people knowing where they lived. That's the bullshit thing. And it's just like,
yeah, mate. And
the other thing Ybarra fucking said was basically talking about the QA workers and what was it? What's the other one? Where is it?
Customer services.
Customer services. Yeah, that's the one. QA and CS team. So quality assurance.
Quality assurance. The people who test for bugs and make sure the game doesn't break.
And customer service. You know those people that you usually talk to if you're a customer, if you want to have a problem with something, with one of their products. You know those people. Apparently, it's not a long-term discipline. Now, as somebody who works in the customer service industry,
and as a person that has worked in the customer service industry,
fuck you, Mike Ybarra.
Mike Ybarra, I take that slight personally as a personal insult.
It
is fucking horrendous. The shit that people have to deal with. And as I've said, I've been on the foot. I'm technically, the job I still do is still a customer service role in a sense. And I take phone calls from customers who call me useless. Not because of what I've done, but because of the people above me, the fucking rules that they've put down and everything. And I have to sit there and take that shit. I've been called incompetent and useless and worthless, and I should be fired and blah blah blah. And I should be told, and I have to take all that shit and not just throw it back in their face.
Well, when I was working, because I worked through COVID.
Yeah.
I was spat on.
Yeah.
I was called worse than scum. I was told that I should die, that it's people like me is the reason why the world is the way it is. Like, I was told really horrific things.
Yeah.
or because there was a mandatory number of people allowed in the store, and I wouldn't let anybody
Which
else
was
in.
a number determined
Which was,
not by you.
by the way, which was a governmental thing. It was law. I was not allowed. And yet, no, it was all my fault.
Yeah.
Everything bad in the world was all of a sudden was my fault. And that was because I worked customer service.
Yeah.
Like, to...
for someone who has never had a customer shout at them in public or down the phone and call them some of the worst names you could possibly imagine, for Mike Ybarra to come out and say that, I'm sorry. No, you can go F yourself. I was going to give him slack as the new guy on the job, but no, sorry. Dude, you need to fucking go. You're just as bad as everyone else that has left.
Yeah, not long-term disciplines. In response, a comment that is said to have created morale for those working in quality assurances and customer support. Yeah, the idea was that comment was supposed to raise morale. You're basically telling your staff you're shit,
honestly,
and you don't matter.
Honestly, God, Mike Ybarra, you are ill-equipped as a human being to be in any sort of authority role. If you think that is how you talk to your fucking staff.
A Blizzard spokesperson said Ybarra did not refer to a specific discipline or department, but that the comment was made in reference to Blizzard wanting its employees to grow and take on expanded responsibilities and opportunities. The spokesperson added that the company appreciates the importance of our QA and CS teams play in serving the players. Yeah, because you know what he just said was bullshit. He was clearly talking about QA and CS teams. That's what he was clearly talking about.
Yeah.
Because there's no way he was talking about developers.
Nope.
Absolutely no way, because if you insult those fuckers, they're going to leave, and they're going to be like, well, fuck you, bitch, and go somewhere else, and then your company's dead. Yeah. So he wasn't insulting them, but in all honesty, and this is the problem with QA and customer service roles,
they are usually the bottom rung.
They are the bottom rung, and they can get... Even they know this, and I know this as customer service. I can get picked up and thrown out the door, and somebody else will fill that spot as the minute I'm gone.
Yeah.
So we all know we're not stupid, right? The other thing, let's see what else they've been saying. Numerous Blizzard employees have taken to social media in the last 24 hours to voice their outrage over this. Overwatch 2 senior game designer Dylan Snyder said on Twitter that in his over 10 years of working in the game industry, that he has never been as embarrassed by leadership figures as I am in this moment.
It's just such a...
Brian Bradford, who is the Overwatch senior character artist.
Do you remember the Diablo Immortal announcement?
Yeah.
At BlizzCon.
Yeah.
The whole "do you not have phone?"
The detachment from the actual people.
This is worse than that.
Yeah.
Because you're not even talking to the fan base. You're talking to the very people that make your games, and you are in charge of. Like, you need to know. Like, it's more proof. I've been saying for months now, the fucking AAA game industry is run by people who have no fucking knowledge of the fucking market they're in.
So just to prove your point here, you'll like this. A Activision Blizzard spokesperson, I'm going to guess it's the same person that said the thing before, told a game developer that the company stands by Ybarra's comments and is proud of Mike's leaderships in tough moments.
Mike Ybarra, you are you're just as bad as everyone that came before you. I'm sorry, but if you think what you've said how you justify it,
I'm not gonna lie, he's not as bad. He's J. Allen Brack was not this bad. J. Allen Brack was just incompetent. He was an idiot when it came to like the interpersonal things of the work. That's all that's all he was guilty of. Like, he was just incompetent, right? He never said, at least I can't find anywhere where he said anything bad or shitty to his staff.
To his own staff. This is the thing. This was said in an all staff call.
Yeah.
And then the coup de grace. The coup de grace, he's apparently said, is if you don't, I can't remember the exact quote, but it's basically if you don't like it, you can go and get another job.
Yeah, you can. If where is it?
It has to be in there somewhere because it's a fucking. I hate that. I was in an all staff call when a manager said that. It is the most. If you want to piss off your workforce when they have actual, real complaints and concerns and issues that they want addressed, and the response is, if you don't like it, go find somewhere else to work. Do you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna go find somewhere else to work. And the thing is, when you say that, it's not just the people that are complaining that get pissed off. It's everyone, because it's literally like... It is literally... Well, obviously, you don't give a fuck about us. So why should I stay? Yeah, I know you aimed it at these people, but, you know... It basically means if I'm not towing your line, you don't give a shit. It is the worst thing. You should, if you are a manager of any sort of repute and actually care about your workforce, you should never, ever, at any point, at any time, no matter what the cause, turn around to people and go, well, if you don't like it, just go somewhere else.
Yeah. It's just... But there is a silver lining in all of this.
Yeah, Blizzard...
That has come from all of this.
The actions of Activision Blizzard have...
Basically, the developers are... the other developers, and some of them that have actually criticised Activision for doing this, have actually come out, and basically they're offering career opportunities to Blizzard devs who are being forced to return to the office. Monolith, ArenaNet, and a few others. Let's see if I can find a list. So, and other games.
I'm trying to think. Isn't ArenaNet League? Or am I getting it mixed up with something else?
League of Legends.
Yeah.
League of Legends is Riot Games.
Oh, is it right? That's
yeah.
right. Okay. So what's ArenaNet?
Shall I have a look? I'm sure.
I recognise the name, and I'm like, there is a big game that they do, and I can't remember for the love of fucking God. Why can I not remember? God damn it! But anyway, Monolith Games, like there's a whole bunch of like companies that have just
Guild Wars 2. They do Guild Wars.
Right. Okay.
There we go.
I mean, they're not perfect, but like the fact that they
but Guild Wars is one of the biggest MMOs going.
Yeah, no, but no, what I'm saying, what I was about to say is like they're literally saying, yeah, you just want to work from home. A lot of shit that is happening in the AAA game industry is happening in the office environment. And I'm like, and here's the thing: Activision Blizzard have done nothing. Nothing. And I'm sorry, but they haven't. They've done absolutely nothing to actually...
Monolith are the team that are working on the Wonder Woman game that's coming out soon.
Ooh, the one that's actually looking not...
Well, we haven't actually seen
from what we've heard.
Yeah, from what we've heard...
Could be potentially actually quite good.
Yeah.
But anyway...
So that's who Monolith are.
But, like... Activision Blizzard, exactly what have they done to address the situation with the toxic workplace environment they have? Apart from some sacrificial lambs sent to the slaughterhouse of public opinion.
Yeah.
What have they exactly done? Nothing.
Well, they might be getting bought by Microsoft. I mean, other than that, I can't really think of anything.
I mean, Microsoft is at the moment, the way things are going, Microsoft are going to overpay for Activision Blizzard by about...
the minute they announced how much they were buying it for, it's like, nah, you're overpaying.
I mean, they're not going to get the work. Here's the thing, like, all they're going to get is the IPs. The way it's going. Oh, and the senior management team.
And that's if it still goes through. Yeah, recently reports from within Blizzard indicate almost every employee would have to return to the office by summer, though some remote employees might be able to retain their work from home status, and others might have to report in a few times a week. The decision to end most remote work would affect almost everyone, as one might imagine Blizzard employees were not happy with this sudden
especially when they've proven that they can work from home and get the job done. Like,
yeah.
Dragonflight is one of the most well-received expansions to WoW I can remember
in a while. Yeah,
in a long while. Like, I think
it had a shaky start.
You have to go to like Mr. Pandarius.
I think even before
You
Mr.
probably even
Pandarius.
missed like Lich King we're talking about here. Like you that's years. That's like almost a decade of expansions that have not been as well received as this, and they go, oh yeah, no, you have to all go into the office. Like, I cannot see the logic, because it's clearly not for a productivity point, because they've proven they can get the stuff done from home. It's not from a morale point, because the reaction of the workforce is the just tanking of the morale. It's not from a financial point, because clearly they'll have to spend more money using more computers in the office, costing more energy, which is one of the big drivers of inflation at the moment. So the only thing for the process of elimination, it's a fucking power trip.
Well, yeah, but if we look at it as like, let's look at the things that you said there, right? So the power, which is going to cost more. The thing is, they can afford it, so they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about their staff, so morale doesn't. That's out the window. That goes flying. Nobody cares about that. And what was the other thing? You said
productivity.
Productivity. Well, they release shit all the time. And for Activision, as long as Call of Duty's good, there you go. That's all their money back. They don't care.
Oh no!
We've got like Monolith. We have Laurie Harrop, who is one of the head developers of the Wonder Woman game coming soon. Basically on Twitter, basically said, we at Monolith Productions are maintaining our stance on giving our developers the choice of how they want to work, on-site, hybrid or remote. Where folks work from has not slowed our development one bit, as our team works hard on Wonder Woman.
Yeah, like the thing is like,
and
I
then
understand.
She's put a link to a Monolith Jobs website right there.
I understand certain jobs can't be done at home.
Yeah.
Certain jobs can't be done at home. They have to be done in an office or in a factory. Blah blah blah. I understand that, and it's just the facts of that job. But when you've got something that is a purely digital work stream, and the workforce have proven that they can do it, and when they're going about, oh well, we want face-to-face collaborations, it's like, have you not? What have you been doing?
Have you not seen?
How this is the just the absolute moronic thing of this, right? The announcement, the fucking all staff announcement and talk and chat on the all staff call. Do you honestly think that was done in the office?
Oh no.
Do you think Mike Ybarra stood in front of all those people and told them, especially the QA and customer service, that their jobs are basically finite, and we can just get rid of you whenever the fuck we want?
What I would like is, how in Fallout 4, at the start of Fallout 4, there's that guy who comes to the door and that's how you pick your things.
Yeah.
What I want is Mike Ybarra to be dressed like that and
going to all.
Yes, you'll be coming to the office now.
Do you honestly think he did that though? No. Do you want to know how he did it? Do you know how he did it?
FaceTime.
Yeah. Whether by Skype or
Microsoft Teams or whatever it's called.
Yeah, or whatever. Microsoft Teams is probably the more popular.
Probably,
but,
yeah.
Like one of those things. He talked to probably the entire workforce via that.
I can guarantee. Yeah, part of me actually thinks that most likely it wasn't even a live thing.
It was just a recording.
No, it was a live thing because people were asking questions. I was just like, part of me is like, this could be so bad that it wasn't even a live thing. He was just like,
this is the thing. Like, Ybarra is perfectly happy when it's him doing the fucking work to do this remote shit and online discussions and all that. But the people who actually do the ones and zeros, oh no, you've got to come in. I've got to be able to whip you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've got to be able to discipline you.
When I say I want you to do this now, like I want to be able to do that. That's basically what it is.
I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to tell someone, do this now, and not get something like, it can't be done right now because of this. I want to be able to do that, and if they say no, I can turn around and fire them on the spot because that's what I want to do. That's my. I haven't been able to do that. Why did anyone think about me? Because you're a dick. That's why. Honest to God, I was going to give Ybarra like a little time to fucking get things sorted out before I gave him the full broadside of, you're a piece of shit, get the fuck out of the company, you don't deserve to be there, you don't deserve the position you're in, you don't deserve the money you're in. Oh, he also he apparently compared his situation regarding the bonus with the workforce.
Oh yeah.
Mike Ybarra, who is on probably multiple times of a wage than the people he was talking to, was like, oh, I'm in the same boat as you. Oh, you fuck. You're in a yacht in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, but the rest of your workforce is in a fucking rubber dinghy that's leaking.
I just I do generally love the fact that Activision have started to get some good faith after the whole harassment thing. They did. They started to get some good faith coming back in
with
Dragonfly and stuff like that. But also the it generally looked like the employees were enjoying doing the work again. They were happy and stuff like that. So
mostly because they were working from home.
Mostly because they were working from home, but it doesn't matter. They were treating the employees right. And that's the most important thing. And literally within 5 minutes, you've shot it dead. Why? I just don't understand. You need these people to do the work. And for the work that you want them to do, they don't need to be in the office.
They don't need to be in the office 24/7. They don't need to. It's like fucking Elon Musk demanding fucking staff to spend over 24 hours in the office.
Ridiculous hours.
I'm willing to sleep in the office. Well, good for you fucking idiot. I'm sorry, no one can come to me and tell me Elon Musk is a genius. He can't be. He cannot be. The way he's run Twitter, there's not a chance in fucking hell he can be a genius.
Good riddance, Twitter. Good riddance.
That is dying a death. It is dying a death.
You don't deserve to be around. You are a terror. You are a stain on humanity. And when aliens finally come and invade us, they will see Twitter and realize that we don't deserve to live.
Yeah. We'll purge you for the greater good.
But we're going to move on from that now because we're going to talk about good things.
We're going from a company that treats its staff like shit to a company that doesn't treat its staff.
Two companies that have actually done two. I'm not going to say that they don't treat the staff like shit, but I'm going to say that they
treat them better.
They've done some good. They've done something good for their staff.
They've actually done something which is nice.
We're gonna end on some good things. Okay, so Nintendo have announced basically a 20% Switch sales drop, which is, to be fair, is not surprising because how old is the Switch now?
The Switch is 5, 6 years, something like that.
I'm gonna go 4.
Maybe 4.
Because it's younger than the PS4.
It is younger than it's younger than the PS4 and younger than the PS5? Question mark.
It is younger than the PS5. Steve.
Yes. No,
PS5's only been out a year and a half, nearly 2.
Oh, that's very true.
Right. Actually, no, it might be 3. Fuck it, but it's definitely younger than the PS4. It's definitely younger than the PS4. The Switch. I know that it's younger than the PS4 and the Xbox One. I'm sure of that, but I don't think it's by much.
Yeah, but the thing is always like the console's been out for a while now.
Yeah.
It is actually surpassed. It's the third highest selling console in history now.
Yeah,
it's
no PS2, but that's going to.
It's going to take something special to beat the PS2. Yeah. The PS2 is just ridiculous.
It was a beautiful machine.
It is.
But even though Nintendo have announced that it's a 20% Switch sales drop, they are still doing a 10% pay rise for devs despite the lowering profits, which is good.
Yeah,
that's how you treat your staff.
Well,
or at least that's how you pay your staff.
The person who used to, before he sadly passed away, was the head of Nintendo. He took a pay cut. The board of directors at Nintendo take pay cuts before they fire staff. They have this whole philosophy of if our workforce
This is President Shutaro Furukawa. I'm sorry if I pronounced that absolutely awful. I do know I butchered it, and I apologise sincerely. Basically, right here, It is important for our long-term growth to secure our workforce.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because, was it last week or something I was talking about, like, you know what, if your staff aren't worried about paying the rent up and keeping the house, the roof over their head, do you know what they are? They're more productive. Because they're not worried about, their brain is not thinking about, the bailiff's going to come while I'm at work. And so they're able to focus on the fucking job they're doing. But, heaven forbid people like Bobby Kotick having to, not buy another yacht and send it off to the Cayman Islands or whichever fucking tax haven you have all your money in. I just... These are
Yeah.
Nintendo, even with the downturn, are making a profit, and they've decided that we can afford to pay our staff a little bit more. Yes, we won't make a giant profit as much as if we didn't pay them, but it means our staff are happy. Happy staff are more productive. It has been proven over and over again. I don't understand why people have to keep saying this.
The announcement of this comes in stark contrast to the recent layoffs, of course, for cost-cutting measures at Microsoft, Electronic Arts, Take-Two, and others, like Activision, as well as Ubisoft, who just recently had a strike go through due to the treatment and pay of workers.
And especially after the CEO, Yves Guillemot, turned around to them and said, "It's the workers' fault. You're not productive enough." Do you know what happens when people when people who work their ass off for a company that treats them like shit, and then the boss goes, "You're not productive enough"? Do you know what they do? They get very angry. When they get very angry, they do things.
Especially in France. Like, you're French, you should know this.
Yeah, what the hell is wrong with you? Clearly you were dropped on your...
That's how incompetent he is.
No. I'm not 100% sure, but is Yves Guillemot not actually French, but Swiss?
No, he's French. Like, he has to be French. Like, there's no way.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Because if he was Swiss, he wouldn't even, like, when the whole thing came out, he would just be like, I'm on neither side.
I'm neutral.
I am neutral in this.
It's a troll, but still. But, like... I just don't. I'm like, I understand that. It's like, I know there's a massive disconnect between the people in charge of the company and the people who actually, make the company money, by making the product. I understand that there's a disconnect, because it's fucking obvious. It's the only thing that makes sense considering what some of the people come out with. But like, they don't need the people in charge. These CEOs don't even these CEOs and head of the fucking development teams and fucking people like Mike Ybarra and Yves Guillemot, Bobby Kotick, and fucking who's the one in head of Xbox? Phil Spencer. Is it Phil Spencer?
Yeah. Who? For Microsoft.
From Xbox.
Yeah, Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer. They seem to have this lack of ability to even read the room.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck?
But it's not just Nintendo, because Nintendo has raised it by 10%. Sega have come out and announced that they're raising their pay by 20%, and Capcom and Square Enix have also this is mainly to keep talent. They are increasing salaries by 30%.
Yeah, because the thing is though is that it's a domino effect. When one company goes, yeah, we're raising it by this much, the other companies go, shit, they pay more than we do. Yeah, we're gonna have to raise ours. It's a domino effect. The problem is like Japan is not perfect. It has a work culture issue, which is
in Japan
documented very, very well.
Yeah, there's a reason why they have something called the suicide forest.
Yes,
and it's not great. Like,
no.
The working culture, like, although there is companies in Japan that are trying to change that. I know in the anime industry, for one, it is absolutely horrific how fast they go through staff.
Yeah, burnout is a massive...
Burnout is really bad in the anime industry, and there are some companies like Kyoto Ani. The ones who do like Violet Evergarden and Lucky Star and that, which they don't have that problem. Yeah. They basically just have a very stable workforce. It's why you have like no Kyoto Ani anime come out, and then in 1 year like 6 comes out
because
all
like
at once.
the team have a schedule and they don't push the schedule.
They don't push much. They don't, and they let people. They have normal working hours. I know in the gaming industry, I think Square Enix have a decent one. I think it's Square Enix anyway. I think Nintendo are trying to change that.
I noticed we haven't mentioned Konami.
We're not mentioning Konami. Well, to be fair, we don't. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have any games developers at all.
Oh well, yeah.
Maybe they've got Scruffy the janitor, but maybe.
But like, the knock-on effect is like, it's surprising. Like Japan's work culture is what it is, and yet the employers, especially like for Nintendo, Sega, like look at it and go, yeah, we need to look at the situation and go, instead of like, oh well, we need to just offload a bunch of people.
Japan are, like I said, Japan's work culture is very slowly changing.
Yeah.
It is slowly changing so that the employees aren't dying of overwork.
But the point I'm making is like, you have the Japanese work culture, and yet the employers do stuff like this. I mean, they're not perfect. There are issues. But then you have this, and then you have like in the West where it's literally we haven't made 7.5 billion. We've only made 7.1. So we're gonna fire 10,000 people. Like, are you? It just makes no fucking sense. It's like if you can afford the fucking pay rise, pay them.
So Capcom instituted the 30% pay rise, and Bandai Namco increased monthly pay per person by an average of $435 per employee.
Holy fucking shit! Jesus Christ! Well, let's see.
I want to work for Bandai Namco.
I know. I'm like, how much of a fucking percentage pay rise would that be for me? That's easily like a 40% pay rise for me. That's basic maths, like rough estimate. That's around about a 40% pay rise for me. I wouldn't know what to fucking do with the money.
Yeah, the pay rise for Sega and Nintendo, they'll both be starting in July, which is not surprising because that's how a lot of companies do things. They announce the pay rise, and it's like, well, that's common sense.
Yeah, companies tend not to go like, from tomorrow you're getting this pay rise. It's like from this point. It's usually what should happen is from the country, whatever is classed as the financial year for that country.
I mean,
when the pay rises
to be fair to give these companies, even though they are raising pay, this has come after the Prime Minister of Japan has urged companies to raise pay. So this might not be just because they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is,
Prime Minister has been like, "Oh, pay your staff."
Yeah, but the thing is also like Nintendo, like I said, Nintendo did it, and then all the other companies went, "Yeah, we're gonna have to."
Well, no, actually, I think Square Enix did it first.
I know, but like one company did it, and then the other companies literally went, "Yeah, we're gonna have to, otherwise people are gonna go to them."
So. Yeah,
like it is a way of thinking that is completely alien to the Western AAA game industry.
I'd say to the West.
Maybe
not even
to the
industry.
Western financial institutions and major corporations. They probably look at this and go, "Look at those idiots!" Ha 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 ha. I'm like, yeah, but in about 10 years' time, those companies have more chance of actually being around than you. Because you're thinking of 6 months in advance, they're thinking about 10 years in advance. Not in, oh, we have a 10-year plan for this game. No, as in, yeah, we have a 10-year financial plan to be able to keep these staff.
And to actually just keep running.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with at least in the West, for at least just in the entertainment industry alone, it generally sometimes feels like they've got a plan for like
4 months.
Yeah, for 4 months ahead. Like the next project. That's
the next financial quarter.
Yeah,
that is literally it.
And sometimes it just feels like you can't keep running on this because eventually it's going to bite you in the ass.
I've said the whole this whole thing of fake capitalism, which it is. It's just pure greed. They're pretending to be capitalism. It's unsustainable because it's like, oh, we have to grow because we growed last year. We have to grow. It's like, yeah, but the thing is, you're wanting instant growth with no effort, with no actual plan of like what to do with that growth. eventually the bubble will burst. It's a giant fucking bubble at the moment because you're doing nothing with it. But yeah, it's great news, and to the staff that are getting these fucking pay rises that I look at with quite with a lot of envy now. I'm like,
I'm gonna start looking at QA testers for Bandai Namco and see if they do foreign.
I'm literally like, how much would it cost to get? Like,
am I allowed to work at home from these companies? Because if I am, I'm signing up. Sign me up. Like, my pay is shit.
I mean, literally, I know we joked about like, yeah, we'd be on the board. I'm sorry, I'd get on the ground level.
I would get you know what? I'd get on the ground level and I'd fucking climb that ladder as fast as I could.
Oh my god, it's just like, I'm like fucking a $400 pay rise per month.
Yeah.
That's that's like 25 to like, depending on how much you earn in the UK for your average worker, that's like a 25 to 40% pay rise.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I could afford to live.
I know. You could actually buy your own home. You could actually buy your own home and afford to pay for it.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit! It's just like,
It makes me wonder, like, how much is the cost of living in these countries?
Oh, in Japan, like,
Inflation's not that bad in Japan.
I know, because Japan has come from like not recently, but like 10 years ago, was going through a massive spate of like deflation.
Yeah,
and it was a massive problem for them financially.
Yeah. This is the highest inflation in 41 years, but it's still nowhere near.
Oh, it's nowhere near like the 10% in the UK
or in the US.
Or I think is it the US, like it's 7.9 or something like that. Yeah, it's high. I mean, the UK is literally just taking the fucking piss.
The UK has just.
But again, like
we in the world of nations, we're taking a nosedive and we're hitting every branch on the way down.
Yeah,
that's what's happening with us.
Yeah.
So
it's
eventually,
it's not a fun ride.
Eventually, we're just going to be a hole in the middle of the earth. We're not actually going to be here. In about 50 years' time, people are going to go, this is the area of that once was known as the United Kingdom. Now it's just a hole. They're like, it's going to be that bad that the sea doesn't even go into the hole.
Yeah, the sea just
goes round it.
The sea just avoids. Oh. But yeah, good news to end on.
This is how at least there's something good for the Japanese workers. It doesn't actually say anything about workers overseas.
I would imagine
anywhere, but I would imagine so.
I would imagine it's like if you work, because the thing is, if you are contracted on a certain level, it should be. I don't know Japanese employment laws and all that, so this could be completely wrong. But like, if you are, you should be paid. If you're on a certain level, you should be paid the same amount as the guy next to you doing the exact same job as you. That's what should happen. It doesn't happen as much as it should.
But you know,
that's what should happen.
That's what it is.
So if someone is on a foreign contract who is on the same level as someone who works in Japan, I would imagine the pay should be similar. There may be differences because of exchange rates and all that.
Yeah.
That you're reliant on whether they've decided.
Yeah, but if someone's getting paid, let's say someone's getting paid 110,000 yen.
Yeah.
A week, right? I think that's roughly about 110 quid a week.
Yeah.
Right. If you're doing the same job as that person,
yeah,
you should get £110 a week.
You should get the
that's very that's a ridiculously low.
It's basic
pay,
maths,
by the way. But I'm just like,
it's just basic maths as an example.
Whatever the exchange rate for the work that person's doing, that's how much you should get.
Yeah.
There you go. Easy peasy. This is the thing when people are like, oh, what are the exchange rates? No.
What I'm saying is it depends on the contract that the person has. Are they being paid via pounds or yen, and then the exchange? Because the exchange rate changes all the time.
Yeah.
So it depends on if you've agreed to be paid in your currency if you're working as outside of the country, or if you're being paid in the country's currency. That's the thing. That's contracts and that. So,
but anyway, I think that's a good point to end on.
Yes.
Good stuff. A good news for, and I'm actually going to start generally looking for good things to end on.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking about bullshit all the time.
I know.
It feels like all we talk about is bullshit. So,
I mean, to be honest, the AAA industry makes it
do,
very hard to find.
What I'm going to try and do from now on is, if I can't find anything like good that's happening in the gaming industry properly, I'll talk about maybe like new releases that are coming out soon.
Yeah.
Like, we'll look at like a release.
Speaking of which, next week's ridiculous.
Next week is ridiculous, but the main thing next week is Destiny, so you may not see me for about a month.
Yeah.
We may not have it. We'll have a chat next week, and then we may not have another one for about a month. Because I'll be too busy streaming Destiny. I'm going to stream Destiny because I've got the Twitch studios set up. Yeah. I need to work out overlays and that, but I'm old. All right, technology doesn't go with. I'm an old soul and a young body.
You.
No. I'm an old soul. Right, so technology just flies over my head. All right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm an old soul and a young body.
I'm a Windows XP expert to show at my age, and I'm like, all this new fangled stuff is like, I will probably eventually get my head around it just for all the new stuff to come in.
For me, it's not like I know how things work. It's just the words that are used. I look at them. I'm just like, you've literally just spoken in German to me. I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, it just takes a little while for me to get like used to things.
I didn't even know what an NVIDIA was. Everyone's going on about it. Oh, this. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say?
It's a graphics card.
It's a graphic card. But why didn't you just say that?
Well, it's because there's two companies. There's NVIDIA and is it AM?
Yeah, but why didn't you just say, well, it's a graphics card? Have you got this graphics card? The NVIDIA? No, people just go, do you want the NVIDIA? And I'm like,
don't know.
I don't know what that is.
What is it? Tell me what it is, and I'll be able to tell you what.
Technology is my weakness.
Yeah.
Like, it just goes over my head with like things like that. So like, I am generally quite proud that I've managed to do this
with little help.
With no help.
Yeah.
And that my brain still works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's gonna get harder for me, but I'm gonna just start trying to do this. I'm also like, if we can get like release schedules, anything new, anything that's coming out like next week.
Yeah.
We'll just list off these things that are coming out just for something.
But yeah, I've seen next week's release schedule. We may talk about it on next week.
Yeah.
But like next week release schedule is, you know, when we said a month is coming for your wallet. No, next week's coming for your wallet.
Yeah, that's here. The week is here.
The next week is literally coming to kill your wallet.
The week is here. So yeah, I'm gonna start trying to end on good notes, unless something really, really, really bad happens, and then that takes up the entire conversation.
I like the Activision.
The Activision Blizzard thing. I'm gonna start trying to talk. Okay, that was weird. Talk some good things at the end. If not, we'll just talk about releases and shit like that. It does mean I have to generally actually start looking at games that I usually wouldn't even be interested in.
Yes.
But fine. You know, I'm willing to put the effort in.
Yes.
Alright? And my videos can't get any better because I can't afford to make them better. So I'll have to do this instead.
Yeah.
So anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this chat, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.
Toodles.